With so many of us working from home now, the conditions of communication have changed radically. Online meetings and webinars become the new norm, and many of us realise with horror that we look terrible on screen and that our bedroom or kitchen are woefully inadequate as a makeshift office. If we're to get ahead of the game here, we need to come across in a much more professional way. But how can we do this? There are two issues. First is your laptop, where you put that and how you control the lighting. And the second is how you present yourself on screen in a more effective way. Let's look first at the laptop issue. So this is what we often get, isn't it? Your laptop is on the desk, but because it's quite low, we end up looking up your nose and focused on the ceiling behind you, which is not a good look. And if you happen to lean in too far, the lens may distort your features. You'll either disappear from the screen altogether, or you'll end up looking as if you're in a goldfish bowl, which again is not a good look. But before we go any further, what about your appearance? Are you dressed professionally? Do you look right for the organisation? For most of us, if we're in a crumpled t-shirt, that's probably going to look as if we've just got out of bed. And what about your hair? What you can do is put the laptop under a couple of boxes or a pile of books, and that will give you a better angle. Most laptops will have a very good camera, so you'll get a good picture. But what you could do, if you want to go a bit further, is to use a webcam, which you just attach to the top of your laptop, and you'll get an even better picture. So we've tidied ourselves up, the camera's at a better angle, but what about those books? They look a bit scruffy, don't they? So the bookcase is tidied up, and it shows this is where all the work happens, but isn't it still a little bit distracting? Don't you become fascinated to know what some of those titles are? So this leads us to the question, where's the best place to put the camera? Or what's the best background for you? This can be distracting, but on the other hand, if I'm in front of a window, say, or the light source, then I will turn into a silhouette. So that's an important thing to be aware of. If you have the space, you may want to opt for a plain neutral background without any distractions. Now the next thing we need to look at is the lighting, because dreadful lighting is one of the most common errors that we see in online meetings. If you're going to use natural light, you need to control this very carefully. For example, if you find yourself in direct sunlight, that's going to burn out parts of the face. The camera just won't be able to pick it up. And it will also make you look twice as old. The same with overhead lighting. So what can you do? The simplest solution if you're near a window is simply to pull the blind down, and that gives you more control of the source of light. If you don't have a blind, you could simply stick sheets of paper on the window. So you can see it gives you a more balanced light. These of course are subtle differences, but put them all together, the position of your laptop, controlling the lighting around you, and it can make a big difference to how you come across. One final tip to leave you with, particularly if it's an important meeting, check your image on full screen first, just so you can see the details. Put all this together and you're more likely to come across in a much more professional way.